The choices you make, the habits you form, and the mindsets you maintain are all reflections of your personal standards, the standards that you set for yourself and that you aspire to live up to. And these standards are kind of like an invisible rule book that guides your actions and ultimately determines where you end up in life. I'm Dr. Alan Johnson, and on this channel, I talk about the mind, well-being, productivity, and change for thinkers, makers, and everyone in between. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. In this video, I want to explore what our personal set of standards really is, how we can identify the standards that we're currently living by, and how we can upgrade our personal standards so that we can really begin to move into living the life that we truly want to. Our personal standards, the standards that we set for ourselves, are the principles, values, and expectations that we set for ourselves in various aspects of our lives. There are standards that we are expected to live up to professionally or in relationships or in our family, and that's a complex discussion for another video. What I'm talking about here is our personal standards, which dictate to us how we behave, how we interact with others, and how we handle situations that arise. These personal standards are kind of the rules that we live by, either consciously or unconsciously. So for instance, a personal standard that we might have might be to treat others with kindness, regardless of how they treat us. Another one could be to maintain a certain level of fitness or to continue pursuing learning and education and self-improvement. And whatever they are, these standards serve as a foundation for your daily decisions and actions. Your personal standards shape your identity and influence the kind of life that you lead. High standards can push you to grow and to strive for excellence and integrity, while low standards might lead you to mediocrity or even to forms of self-sabotage. The standards that you hold for yourself ultimately determine the quality of your relationships, the success of your career, and your overall well-being. Living in the vibration of what you want means that you are in every moment, or as in many moments as possible, embodying the qualities, behaviors, and mindsets that are in harmony with your desired outcomes. That old adage of dressing for the job that you want kind of holds true here, that in order to achieve the outcomes that we want, we need to set the standards for ourselves that will get us there. If you want success, you must cultivate the mindset of success. If you want love, you must embody love in your own life. It's all about becoming what you want to attract. And in order to do this, in order to raise your standards, to embody what you want to bring into your life, you can start by identifying the qualities that you need to embody. So for example, if you're aiming for a promotion at work, your standards need to definitely include a strong work ethic, punctuality, professional development, and any of the other values exemplified by your workplace. You can't expect to attract success if your standards are set low. If your standards for yourself aren't going to ultimately require you to grow into the new life that you intend to leave. One of the biggest challenges that we face is a gap between our goals and the standards that we actually live by. So you might have big dreams of financial independence and maybe a certain amount of money in the bank account. But if your personal standards include overspending and not budgeting, you're not likely going to reach those goals. You need to improve your personal standards to reach your goals. And this type of mismatch is a common reason why people struggle to achieve what they want in their life. As another example, consider someone who wants to be really fit and healthy, but their personal standards allow for junk food and skipping workouts and not really valuing their physical body. Or someone who wants to build meaningful relationships, but maintain standards of superficiality or inauthenticity or lack of care for others. These mismatches between goals and personal standards create friction and ultimately prevent us from the progress that we want to make toward our goals. This disconnect often occurs because we set ambitious goals, and setting ambitious goals is good and important. But when we set ambitious goals, we don't also adjust our daily habits and our standards to support them. It's easy to say that you want something, but it's much harder to live in a way that consistently supports that goal. That's what I mean by raising your standards. Raising your standards so that they are at the level of the goals that you want to achieve. Oftentimes, people don't realize that their current standards for themselves are sabotaging their success. To create lasting change, you need to first evaluate your current personal standards. This means taking a really hard look at the principles and habits that you currently live by and asking yourself whether your current standards are really serving you. So here are a few questions to think about. What are my current personal standards? Think about those unspoken rules that you live by, from your work to your relationships to your health and body. What are the standards that you actually live by in each of these areas? The next question to ask yourself, are these standards helping me to achieve my goals? You can be really honest here about the extent to which your current standards for yourself are aligned with what you want to achieve. The third question, where am I falling short? So begin to identify areas where your current standards are lower than they should be to support your ambitions. Because remember, powerful goals are a fantastic thing to have, but we need to be able to make sure that we are updating our personal standards when we are updating our goals. And then finally, the fourth question, what new standards do I need to adopt? So determine which new principles or habits you need to integrate into your life to bridge that gap between your current reality and your goals. Because it's that gap between where you are now and where you want to be in the future that is ultimately going to be shaped by your personal standards, the automatic rhythms and routines with which you live your life. Raising your personal standards is about setting higher expectations for yourself. Because when you raise your personal standards, you are committing to a higher vibration, to a higher quality of life, one which will naturally propel you to the achievements that you have set for yourself. So here's some ways that you can start raising your standards today. 1, set clear, high expectations. Decide what you truly want in the different areas of your life, career, relationship, health, and set standards that reflect these desires. So it's not about setting goals for 3 months from now or 6 months from now or 5 years from now in these areas. It's about setting those high expectations for how you want to show up in each of these areas of your life, each and every day. And that each and every day part is important because you need to commit to consistency. Consistency is key. It's not enough to just set high standards for yourself and then consistently fail to meet them. That's going to be really counterproductive And it's going to lead to loss of a sense of self-efficacy. If you are not living up to the standards you've set for yourself, you will increasingly begin to feel that you are not able to achieve the things that you tell yourself you want to achieve. And it's a really challenging spiral that takes you in a downward, unproductive direction. Instead, work on developing consistency. Day by day, action by action, recognizing also that there will be mistakes, there will be slip-ups, there will be slides, but you're able to come back to it the next day and try again. Number 3, surround yourself with excellence. Who are the people that you know who already have set high expectations for themselves? Whether you know them in real life or you know them online or via social media, really begin to pay attention to these mentors that you have that demonstrates what high expectations can look like. Success leaves evidence behind. And if you begin to observe people who have set high standards for themselves, you can begin to learn from them, to be inspired by them, not intimidated by them, but seeing them as an embodiment of that next stage of your own journey. And the final thing you can begin doing today is holding yourself accountable. Accountability is essential, but accountability also doesn't mean getting angry with yourself when you don't live up to your standards. Accountability means that you are able to consistently check in with yourself and identify where things are going right, where things are going wrong, and then making a decision to get things back on track tomorrow and the day after. Regularly checking in with yourself to ensure that you're upholding the higher standards that you're set for yourself will help you to achieve the goals that you've set out to achieve. So if your goal is to improve your health, raising your standards might include eliminating ultra-processed foods, committing to a daily workout, ensuring you get enough sleep every night. These elevated standards will lead to a framework for success. Living up to your full potential requires that your personal standards align with your highest aspirations. High standards for yourself push you to go beyond your comfort zone. They foster growth. They encourage behaviors that can lead you to success. And now it's your turn. I want to invite you to take some time to reflect on the questions I raised today, reflecting on the standards that you currently live by. Are they serving you? If not, what changes are necessary to elevate your standards and to elevate your life? Your standards will ultimately help you to achieve the vision that you want for your life. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who you think might benefit from it. And also don't forget to subscribe for more content like this on personal growth, success, and living your best life. And also check out the other videos I have on personal development and success strategies, where we go into lots of different tools for creating the life that you truly want to live.